what's up guys, TeamDemise Andy here, and today in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, I've decided to give my top 10 favorite, some of them are kind of like speeches, but most of them are just quotes from anime characters. And we have a huge variety of characters today with a huge variety of quotes. It's everything from something that's funny, something that's serious, something that literally made an arc in the show or series, something that just sticks to humanity itself. Overall, I did pick all these, and I had a rough time picking which ones to stay in and which shouldn't. I might do a video of the ones I didn't pick later on down the road, but overall, these were my top 10 favorite, and I think you all will agree with me, sorry. And like always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. It means a lot when you actually do subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot, so thanks.
Maybe you should pull the fucking trigger.
Pull the trigger. Ain't nobody gonna do for you.
Alright, so to start off number 10, it's a quote from Adam or Yami Yugi from the series Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, this one's not so much as serious, but I thought it was funny, and especially when I first watched it, it was cool. Now, the quote is, "I was thinking about calling you a monster, but I didn't want to insult the cards." That is hilarious to me. Alright, the next one comes from Makarov from Fairy Tail. Now, Makarov's not one of my favorite characters, but he does give a few good speeches during the anime, and this is one of them that I feel is really good. It's, "Our comrades were mortally wounded. Their pain amounts to our own. The blood they bleed is our own. The pain, the suffering will fuel our fighting spirit to take down our enemies. We are not justice. We move by our own wills." Now, this doesn't seem like a lot at first, but if you watch the scene, which I can't put it up due to copyright, but if you watch the scene, he gets into this speech, and it's so good. In my opinion, Makarov has one of the best delivering, voices in the whole series of Fairy Tail, but that's just my opinion. Tell me what you guys think. Coming in at number 8, we have Ciel from Black Butler. Now, Black Butler has a lot of good characters who deliver a lot of speeches, but this is kind of one of the more laid-back ones that I really do enjoy. It's, "I'm afraid when something is truly lost, one can never get it back again." Now, Ciel is one of the few characters that I can buy this from, because, if you watch Black Butler, he's clearly lost everything, and he's given up even more. I feel like this is an overall very good quote from a very good character who can portray it off really well. So yeah, that's why it's number 8. Okay, so number 7 is from Noragami, and it comes from Yato. But there are 2 other quotes I want to give recognition to because I couldn't pick between the 3, and I ended up going with this one. But there's 2 other ones. It's, "Anyone who chooses death doesn't deserve to talk about love. And even if things are painful and tough, people should appreciate what it means to be alive." Those are 2 very good overall quotes, but I personally enjoyed this one just a little bit better. I don't know why. It's more simple, but I like it. It's, "The brain may forget, but the heart will remember." Now, don't ask me why I like this one over the other 2. I honestly could not decide, so I thought I would just pick this one because I liked it. I had it first, and then I threw the other 2 in just, as kind of like a honorable mention. Anyway, though, they're all really good, and I do enjoy them. Alright, so number 6 comes from Shino from Owari no Seraph, or Seraph of the End, which is what I call it. But it's a really kind of humanity one. It's, "In a forsaken world such as ours, there's hardly a person left who hasn't lost a loved one." This is such a deep quote, and in the anime, it's even more deep for the circumstances given, but like I said, copyright, I can't show it. But yeah, this is a really good quote in my opinion, and I do feel like it definitely deserves a spot on this list, in everyone else's, to be honest. It's such a good quote that makes you actually think about, how fucked up humanity really is. But anyway, that's why it's my number 6, and we're gonna go ahead and move on. Alright, number 5 comes from Zoro of One Piece, and this is the longest entry on the list, and it is one of the most impactful scenes in all of anime, in my opinion, and it comes from when Usopp and Luffy are fighting. The scene is very dramatic, in my opinion, just because the way Zoro, claims all these things, and it's so impactful to not only the storyline, but to Luffy as a captain and Zoro as the first mate. It's really good, and if you don't like One Piece, I understand it is long, it is tedious here and there, but if you get pretty far in it, it's actually really worth watching, and I do honestly recommend it. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump on into the... Whatever the thoughts were in Luffy and Usopp's argument, and no matter who was correct, as long as the two decided to fight, the outcome was entrusted to that match. In the end, Usopp lost and left us. Taps Luffy on the head. Listen, guys, even though Luffy's such an idiot, he is our captain, it's better not to have someone who cannot pay due respect to him when there's something in our crew. A crew whose captain has lost his dignity will surely collapse. To Luffy, it's none of my business that you usually joke around, but if you humiliate yourself, yet still want to claim any pretense of being my leader, then I will be the one to leave the crew this time. This is so impactful to the story because, you know, everyone's like, yeah, let's let Usopp back. Come on, he just messed up. He wanted to just protect the going merry. Zoro was not having that shit because he disrespected Luffy. And that is so impactful to the story, especially in this arc. No one seen Usopp leaving the crew. No one thought that it was going to happen. But when he did, it was like, boom. And, just for them to let him come back like that wouldn't have been as good of a storytelling project as the way they did it with Zoro. And he's basically told Luffy, if he gets down on his knees and begs, we will let him back in. But if not, he's not coming back, or I will be the one to leave. It's so impactful. Anyway, we gotta go ahead and move on to number 4. I'm getting too much into this one. Alright, so number 4 comes from Shikamaru from Naruto, and as you know, Shikamaru is one of my favorite characters, and he has a lot of good quotes, but I chose "There's no advantage to hurrying through life." Such a simple, easy quote that Shikamaru has, but I do honestly love it. Alright, so number 3 comes from Farid from Mawari no Seraph, or Seraph of the End, like before I said. This quote is very, kind of like humbling to humanity, in a sense. It's, you had better not underestimate humans, they're greedy, cunning, and tenacious. Now, I know that sounds terrible, but if, a different race, in this case vampires, or, something else came to this earth, these are what they would say about humans. They would be like, don't underestimate these motherfuckers, they're greedy, cunning, and tenacious. Anyway, that's why I like this quote. It's just weird. I kind of just enjoy it because, it's fun, but that's my reasoning behind it, and I couldn't put it no lower on the list. I don't know why. I was going to put it number 4, but decided to put number 3 instead. Alright, so we're down to the final 2, and number 2 comes from Ban, or Ban, from Nanatsu no Taizai, or Seven Deadly Sins. This is a simple quote, but I love it so much I put it on my Yu-Gi-Oh! Playmat. It's a real sin, it can't be erased no matter what you do. Such a simple quote, but I love it so much because it's honest, it's true, and it gets to the point easy. Ban was one of my favorite characters from the whole series, and this quote stuck with me so much, like I said, I even put it on my Yu-Gi-Oh! Playmat. Back when I was playing, trains, and I had the Seven Deadly Sins in my deck, which was a fun card. Number 77 is awesome. But yeah, anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. I love this quote, and it's overall good. Alright, number 1 comes from Pain from Naruto, and he has so many good quotes that I couldn't really pick a favorite, but I went ahead and picked this one over the rest. I had this one at first, changed it, and then came back to it because I love it so much. It's, justice comes from vengeance, but that justice only breeds more vengeance. That quote is so true to not only, humanity, it's, true to everything, war and everything we have in our life. It's such a good quote, and just to know it, it came from an anime character, that's awesome. I really do enjoy it, and Pain is one of my all-time favorite villains of, out of anything, just due to the fact that, he's so, knowledgeable about everything, and he speaks from, well, of course he speaks from, an emo perspective, but, he speaks from, truth, what actually is going on. Anyway, though, guys, that was my list. Tell me what you all think in the comments below. If you agree with these, cool. If you don't, tell me some more quotes or speeches or anything like that in the comment section down below. Peace out.